Welcome back YouTube, I have Ahmad again from In-Depth Tech Reviews, and in today's video I'm going to talk about two of the most important smartphones in 2020, not because they feature the most cutting-edge technologies, but they are the most cost-efficient smartphones your money can get. Those two phones are the Pixel 4a and the iPhone SE second generation. While they are totally different in every aspect, but both share the same price tag, which is $400. So let's see how Google and Apple will compete in this price range and help you decide which phone will be the right choice for you. But before getting started, let's make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon to get notified every time I post a new video. So let's jump in. To be able to compare both devices, we have to decide first what are the things that matter the most to any smartphone user, and then see what we're gonna get out of each device. In this comparison, I'm gonna talk about the display, the camera, the performance, the battery, the design, the software, and more. So let's start with the display. As you know, the Pixel 4a is not yet released. However, I'm confident about the leaked information that we have so far, as it's always the case with any Pixel device. And based on the leaks, the Pixel 4a will have a 5.8 inches OLED panel, 1080 by 2340 resolution that gives you 444 pixels per inch, a bezel-less display with a hole punch for the front-facing camera with a refresh rate of 60 Hz. On the other hand, the iPhone SE will have a 4.7 inches LCD panel, which is 1.1 inches smaller than the 4a. It has a LCD panel, which means the blacks will not be as deep as in the OLED panel of the Pixel 4a, and the colors won't be as vibrant too. The iPhone SE also lags behind the 4a when it comes to resolution. It offers a 750 by 1334 pixels that gives you 326 pixels per inch, and that's exactly the same resolution you get with the iPhone 6 that got released back in 2014. So I'm not sure what Apple was thinking about here. Not only this, but it also shares the same old design of the iPhone 6, 7, and 8 that has a very big chin and forehead, which will be less appealing to watch your content compared to the bezel-less display of the Pixel 4a. Apple also tried to enhance the viewing experience by adding the True Tone technology to the iPhone SE display, same as the iPhone 8. And Google also has its own version of the True Tone, which is called Ambient EQ, that we first saw in the Pixel 4, but it's not confirmed if the Pixel 4a will support it. Also, the iPhone SE display produces 625 nits, while Google is known for its slightly dimmer displays. And if we're gonna take the Pixel 3a as an example, it maxes out at 400 nits. However, in March security update for Pixel devices, Google added extra brightness for better sunlight readability, and I hope that will be the case with the 4a. So when it comes to the display, I see the Pixel 4a is the clear winner here because of its bigger display, tiny bezels, and better resolution, things that the True Tone and the extra brightness of the iPhone SE can't compete with. Now let's move on to the camera. As per the leaks, the Pixel 4a will have a 12.2 megapixel main camera versus a 12 megapixel in the iPhone SE. The front-facing camera of the 4a is expected to be 8 megapixels versus 7 megapixels in the SE, so the Pixel 4a is slightly better when it comes to resolution. But what's more important here are the camera features you get. The Pixel 4a can take portrait shots, it supports night sight for extremely low light conditions. Both features work with the front and the back cameras. Not only this, but you also get the Astro mode that can allow you to capture the stars using your back camera. On the other hand, the iPhone SE can shoot portraits using the front and back cameras as well, but it lacks one of the most important camera features, which is the night mode. You won't get Apple's night mode in the front or the back cameras, so if you take night shots, that will be a big disappointment for you. The only advantage that the iPhone SE might have is in the video. The SE can shoot 4K 60, while till now none of the Pixel devices can shoot 4K at 60 frames per second, but I consider the photos are a lot more important than videos, at least for me and the people I know. So once more, the Pixel 4a takes the lead from the iPhone SE with its better camera resolution and the support for night sight and Astro mode. Now let's move on to the CPU and storage. The Pixel 4a is expected to have a mid-range Snapdragon 730 processor with 6GB of RAM, while the iPhone SE has the high-end A13 Bionic chip, which is the fastest processor in the market with 3GB of RAM. And I'm not gonna consider the 3 gigabytes of the iPhone SE is a bad thing because Apple is always good in RAM management despite its lower capacity. Also, the iPhone has better storage options starting from 64 up to 256 gigabytes, while the 4A is expected to have 64 and 128 gigabytes only. So the clear winner here will be the iPhone SE. Now let's move on to the battery. The Pixel 4a is expected to have a 3080 mAh battery, pretty much the same as the Pixel 3a, while the iPhone SE has a very small 1821 mAh battery, and as per the battery reviews I saw online, the iPhone SE battery life is a disappointment, and one of the sources I will use here is tomsguide.com. As per their testing, the iPhone SE scored 9 hours and 18 minutes, while the Pixel 3a that has pretty much the same battery as the 4a scored 11 hours and 59 minutes, which is much better than the SE. I know that these are very rough estimates, but I don't think that the 1821 mAh battery of the iPhone SE will be able to beat a 3080 mAh battery no matter what. So the win here will be for the Pixel 4a, and now let's talk about the software. When it comes to software, there is no winner here. Both iOS and Android can get the job done for you, but it depends solely on the user. If you own a Mac, an Apple TV, and an Apple Watch, definitely the iOS will be your choice. But if you own a Chromecast, a Wear OS smartwatch, and the other Google smart devices, in this case Android will be the better option for you. Also, both devices support first-day software update directly from the manufacturer, so you don't need to wait to get your hands on the latest and the greatest from each company. So I will call this one a draw, and now let's move on to the design. Here I think the Pixel 4a has a more futuristic design with a bezel-less and hole punch display that gives you a higher screen-to-body ratio versus the relatively old design of the iPhone SE with a very big chin and forehead, which is a plus for the Pixel. However, the iPhone has a glass back which supports wireless charging, and so far the Pixel 4a is expected to have a plastic body, which is a plus for the iPhone. As per the leaks, the Pixel 4a also has a headphone jack, which is missing from the iPhone SE. Other than this, they are very similar. Both use fingerprint sensors and both support dual SIM, one physical and the other is an eSIM. So in my opinion, the Pixel 4a has a better design overall, even if it's missing the wireless charging, because of its bigger and better display, which is more important than the wireless charging. Finally, I'm gonna talk about other things that you won't see in the spec sheet of any of them. First, the iPhone SE has a better resale value, while the Pixel devices usually get high price drops after few months. Also, the iPhone will be available officially in a lot more countries than the Pixel 4a, which will give you the advantage to claim your warranty in most of the countries all over the world. Finally, Apple has better customer service than Google, and I did experience that myself. Now, let's sum up everything. So based on all the information I shared about the two devices, I will classify my conclusion into two parts: the specs and the support and availability. When it comes to specs, the Pixel 4a was better in 4 areas: the display, the camera, the battery, and the design, while the iPhone was only better in the CPU and the storage options. So the Pixel 4a will be the better buy if you care about the specs the most. But if we're gonna talk about the support and the availability, the iPhone will be the better option because of its better availability, the better support you get from the manufacturer, and the better resale value. So you will be the judge here based on what are the things that matters the most to you, and I tried to make it easier for you to make up your mind. I will be waiting to hear back from you, so please share with me your opinions in the comments. Would you go for the Pixel 4a or the iPhone SE? So that's pretty much it for today. I hope you like my video, and if you do, please hit the thumbs up and subscribe for more videos. Thank you for watching.